pop-up for like, please ask for permission was right over your video.
Oh,
I was like, where'd Kim go? You're right behind it. Sorry. Okay, so you're recording? It looks like you're
yep.
recording. Cool. Should I wait or should I just go right into it?
Are we waiting? Is there anyone else?
I think Diana said she's just running a little bit behind, but I don't
Oh,
know how long a little bit
yeah.
is.
I think you could start.
Yeah. Let's start. We're recording it. They can well, they can't catch up while it's working, but okay, so let me get my notes. Sorry, this is only the second time I've ever done this, and you guys were at the first one. So let me just make sure everybody has the right ingredients. You got your rice noodles or egg noodles, Kim. You got some meat, beef, maybe. You get your Chinese broccoli or some kind of alternative. Egg. I like to put egg in it. I think it's normally with egg. Garlic.
How many eggs?
I usually put one per. Okay, so
Serving.
one package of noodles is kind of like I do 2 batches, and actually I did it this weekend, and it's definitely enough for 4 people. 1 packet. So I usually do 2 eggs per packet, 1 for each batch, if that makes any sense. You can add more if you like it. For the sauce, we got our oyster sauce, our soy sauce, and dark soy sauce, hopefully. Sugar, you need some sugar. And one thing I forgot to mention, this is easy, but you might need a little bit of water depending how you cut your gailon. I'll go into that in a second. And then for the condiments, we're gonna make, this is super easy. It's just chilies and vinegar. This is one I made this weekend, but I got some more to make right now. I like using white pepper. It's kind of a new thing. I never used to use it, but it is kind of traditionally used. And then I made some crushed red chili flakes myself, but you could buy it like this very easily. If you like it spicy. If you don't like spice, you don't have to put it. The cool thing about this dish is like the base is kind of, I wouldn't say bland, but very neutral. And then these things you put on after are what kind of customizes it to your taste. Sorry, my nephew is in the other room waking up from a nap, so he's making some noise. Okay, so I think what we should do first is just make this chili vinegar thing because it tastes kind of good the next day, and you know, like as it sits, and it's super easy. And I want it to be ready when we're done. So I just have 3 serranos. You could put there's literally, it's such a simple recipe. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on how much you want to make. But here, let me put this down. Rinsing off my knife real quick. So the way I cut them is usually, you know, that might actually be a little bit too thick, but just into rounds. I don't deseed it. I don't cut it in half or anything. I just cut them into rounds. These are a little bit old. I'm gonna discard the ends. And you literally just take like a mason jar or something. You can tell these are older because they do start to lose their color, but they taste great. They taste great. Sorry, you can't see my face, but they taste great a few days later, even a week later, probably. You just dump it in some kind of container. Could be a bowl, could be a cup, could be a mason jar. And then I just have white vinegar. That's it. Nothing special. You just cover the chilies. You don't have to measure anything, just make sure they're submerged. And there. There's
Does that
this is
basically pickle them?
kind of, I guess if you leave it, yeah, if you leave it for a while, these do look kind of pickled. Like you could tell the color is looks more like a pickled color than the new ones. Um, I don't add any water or anything else like that. I don't cook it. I just throw it in. And this is, if you do only have one topping, this is my favorite. Because I don't know, it's the dish is kind of sweet and salty, and this is adds a little of that sourness. Um, so I'll give you a couple minutes, or let me know when you're ready. I know last time it took a really long time to finish, so I'll just give me a thumbs up if you're good.
Did you
If-
say, oh, sorry, Charlie, go ahead.
You go ahead first.
I was just wondering if there's an amount of vinegar, just like however much you want. Okay.
Just cover it, yeah.
Okay.
Because when you eat it, you kind of just you either scoop out just the vinegar and sprinkle it on, or sometimes I'll grab a chili or two. I mostly use the vinegar, especially if it's been sitting for a few days. It'll have some of that chili flavor in the vinegar.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, there's really no right or wrong way.
Okay. Cool.
Just put some chilies and some vinegar.
Did everyone cut their broccoli already?
That's okay. I can go over it. I didn't cut
Yeah,
all
do you
of it.
mind just showing real quick?
Sure,
Um,
sure. So I have some that are already cut, but these are the ones I have. Sometimes the stem is even thicker, sometimes it's thinner. If it's this thin, okay. Here's tip number 1 or 2 or 3, I don't remember, but I like to keep the stems separate when I cut it in a separate bowl than the leaves, because I cook them first. I start cooking them first because they are thicker, and the leaves cook faster. So I would separate it if you can. I already washed these. So there's different ways you could do it. I kind of like, I wish you could see my face and my cutting board, but here, let me just do the cutting board. That's more interesting than my face. These thin ones, here, let me put this off to the side. This is the one that's like, can you see okay? Let me know if you can't see something, let me know. This is the tricky one because it's the hardest one. And there's 2 things you could do. I like it a little bit crunchy and thicker, but at a lot of restaurants, they'll cut it pretty thin and they'll cut it on an angle, kind of like so. The thinner you cut it, the quicker it'll cook. I'll cut these fairly thin, but normally I would personally probably cut it more like this, especially this piece that's not that thick. I like it crunchy.
How many bunches should we?
Oh, good question. It's a little hard. Let's see. I kind of measure when I'm cooking it by the handful. I just grab handfuls of it. I would say about, this much would be good for 1 portion. I don't know if you could tell. It's kind of like
One cooking portion or 1 person portion?
No, one, good question. Not 1 person portion. 2 people portions, 1 cooking portion. Okay, that's really confusing. So, like I said,
Per rice packet.
per rice packet, which is, let's say that's 4 people portion.
Oh, okay.
But I'm cooking it in 2 portions.
Oh, gosh. If
This would be enough.
if this is my packet,
Okay. Oh, you haven't soaked it yet?
no. Juicy, I just got it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know
do
I
that
had
now,
to go
do
out
that
at
now,
lunch
Charlie.
because I forgot. Okay. So
Now.
how many would this count as 2? It seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I would do half of that as
Okay.
the equivalent of what I'm about to cook for.
For 4?
Yeah,
So half of this, okay.
I think so.
What do you leave the leaves whole?
Oh yeah, sorry. So leaves. No, I do not leave them whole. It's to your preference. I cut them kind of
Okay.
into that thickness. My wife actually does it much bigger, and it's fine. Either way, it's pretty fine. And these little stems, I don't bother cutting at an angle. I just like roughly
Okay.
chop them. Here, you can watch me cut a few. Like I said, I'm gonna keep the stems in a separate bowl from the leaves. You don't have to do it, but I think it's better. Yeah, this does look kind of like broccoli. And keep this in the stem bowl. Charlie, yeah, definitely try to get those noodles soaking.
Okay, they're soaking now. Thank you.
By the way, I've never made this with dried noodles, so I'm not even exactly sure.
The package says like 10 to 15 minutes, so
Okay.
I should be good by the time I need
Yeah.
to mix them together.
Yeah, cool. And not sure if people cut their meat already. There were some questions about against the grain and whatever. Should I wait? Or should I go on to the next?
I don't know who I got pre-sliced meat.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Ew.
Okay.
High five you.
I did the same. I was like,
Okay.
makes it easier.
Yeah. Well, the easiest is you just buy it from a restaurant and then you don't have to do any of this. But this is flank meat, I think. And you could definitely see the grain, the grain, I guess. The grain, the way it's running. So you're supposed to cut it against the grain. If I were to cut it perpendicular to the grain, it would be this way. But these would be really long strips. So I'm going to cut it in half and then cut it against the grain. And then because this thing is so thin, I don't know what cuts you guys have, but I'm going to cut it at an angle so that it has a little more surface area, I guess. So I usually cut it kind of like this. To give it, to make it a little wider than it normally would be. I'm cutting it pretty thin, maybe too thin actually, but let's see. This is more like what I normally cut it like. But, it depends where you're cooking, what kind of cut you have. If you're cooking chicken or something else. So yeah, definitely get this going. This is going to be the first thing we cook, the meat. Because I find it just makes it a lot easier to make sure it's cooked enough without overcooking the noodles or overcooking anything else. We're going to get it cook it mostly there and then take it out and put it in a bowl. And then you'll also notice, most likely you'll have a lot of juice when you cook the meat. When we add the meat back into the stir fry, we're not going to add any juice of the meat. We're just going to add the meat back in because it'll get too kind of soggy and almost like steaming. Okay. So I'm gonna rinse my knife while you guys do that. I have a big knife set and I only use one knife ever. Never use any of the other knives.
Same.
And I like how everybody has their favorite burner on their stove.
Yeah, so true. Cool. Let's see. What else can I show you? Oh yeah. Well, okay. So before we cook anything, though, we're gonna prep everything. All the time is mostly during the prep. When we go to cook, we're gonna want everything as close to the stove as possible, because as you add each thing into the wok, each thing is only gonna take maybe a couple minutes before you add the next thing, before you add the next thing, before they add the next thing. So that part goes really fast. We can do garlic next, I guess. Let's see. I usually eyeball it. This is about how much garlic I'm gonna mince for the double portion, I'll call it, the half of a pack of noodles, 2 people, personal portions. If you like more garlic, put more garlic. If you don't like garlic, you can put less. But this is about how much I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna dice it. Last time I told you had to cut the garlic in a specific direction because we weren't dicing it. This time it doesn't matter. And if anybody needs me to slow down or repeat something, let me know.
Am I just really slow, or is anybody else still cutting their vegetables?
I'm still cutting my meat. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't
No
worry.
worries.
I think we're already faster than last class.
The egg noodles say they have to be cooked for like 3 minutes. Should I do that? Or do you think it like just will cook in the, because I got like fresh egg noodle.
I don't know, because these are my rice noodles. Let me grab one. And they're fresh, but I would not eat it like
Raw.
this. It does feel like it needs to be cooked still. So if it's only 3 minutes, I think you should just stir fry it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's about what we're gonna cook this for.
Cool.
So. I'm making a little bit extra garlic because I'm cooking more after we do this. I'm cooking more for the rest of the family. We eat this dish a lot now, actually. Once you do it a few times, I bet you could make it in half an hour. You could make, 4 portions. And I think it reheats pretty well. So if you have extra, I think that's not a bad thing. Like if you have to make more than you're gonna eat tonight, I think it tastes pretty good the next day. Not everything I would recommend that for, but this dish, I don't know, it tastes good the next day to me too.
How many garlic cloves did you say again?
I did about 4 fairly large.
Okay.
Is that for like half a pack of noodles, or is that for the whole thing?
That's for half. That's how much I like for half. But
Okay.
You can adjust it. That's the other cool thing about learning how to cook this instead of just getting it out, is you can totally customize it to how you like it. Okay. I think we really only have to.
Can I see how much garlic you did again?
Me? I already sliced it, but here. Or, if you have the pre-cut kind.
Yep. So you can just show me what you
Oh,
cut.
let's see. I think like 2 or 1.5 tablespoons. This is I'm doing this much for like the whole pack of noodles, but it's a lot. Like you don't have to make this much if you don't want.
Okay.
You did that just now?
Yeah.
That was really fast.
Well, we actually had them pre-peeled.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That
I don't buy it pre-peeled, but my mother-in-law, just like when she's watching TV,
Yeah.
peel them and put them in a jar. Right. Actually, we're looking pretty good. We just have to make the sauce next, but I can wait a little bit. Okay, so Charlie, what stage are you at? Cutting.
Oh my gosh, I'm still on the vegetables. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I move slow.
No, I'm not singling you out. I was gonna go around and ask everybody. Jessica, what are you?
I think I'm pretty much
Cut it?
back with cutting everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, show off, Jessica.
Well, okay, if it makes you guys feel better, I'm in Michigan, right? So my options for things were limited. So I was like looking up substitutes for different things. It's like a hodgepodge.
Oh,
of
okay.
items.
Yeah. No, I figured even here I've been having a really hard time finding the wide race noodles. For the people that are on the call Friday, those sheets that I got, instead of the pre-cut, they work perfectly. Actually, they were fine. I had to cut them myself. Fred, how you doing?
Pretty good, I think.
Pretty caught up? Okay. Kim?
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Isolde?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? Okay. Adriana?
Yeah, I'm good. I just got done.
Okay, cool. Well, then I guess we're just waiting on Charlie.
Okay,
It
you know
was
what?
just
I'm
Charlie.
almost done. All right, I just cut my last little stem.
So I'll talk about the sauce real quick. It's
Oh wait, I have a question about meat. I
Yeah.
got 2 packs. Do you think I'll only need 1?
for
You told me how many noodles, so how much meat per how many noodles you told me, so.
I think 1. Yeah, I think it'll be too meaty if you put
Yeah,
both.
I feel like
Yeah.
one pack looks pretty good.
Yeah. So the sauce is easy. I'll try to give you exact amounts, of course, but I always remember it by ratios. So I like to put equal parts oyster sauce and soy sauce, and then basically half of the dark and sugar. That's the ratio I use. So you can multiply it. You could use, if you're using cups, you twice as many cups of these two than the other two. Or if you're doing tablespoons, you're going to do tablespoons, just do twice as many. Keeps it easy. So with that being said, I guess we can make it. Let me get spoon. I think Mateo's home too. Oh, I didn't really leave much for him to do. He's gonna be pissed.
So the look of panic in a parent's
Yeah.
eyes.
Let me just make sure. Separate noodle, pre-cooked meat. Who's going to be using a wok? Okay, good, nice. Oh, just Jessica. Mateo, come here. Cool. So, well, let me just do the sauce first. Sorry. I'm gonna measure it in tablespoons. Hold on, actually, sorry. Mateo wants to say hi. Come here, say hi. Come here. Never mind, he's being shy. Okay, so let's make the sauce. So I'm gonna take soy sauce first, doesn't matter. Remember, 2 parts soy sauce. For the half pack of noodles, for the full pack of noodles, I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. 4. That's for the full. I'm gonna do 2 batches. I'm gonna use it. And you should definitely err on the side of making too much because it doesn't go bad. Like, this doesn't go bad. This doesn't go bad really. Sugar doesn't go bad, black soy sauce. So you can make a jar of it and keep it for weeks and just use it as you need it. So err on the side of adding too much. Okay. Okay, so 4.
Is the light or dark soy sauce? Sorry.
This is the light soy sauce. Sorry, light, or just normal soy sauce.
Okay.
So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, sorry, was that light or dark? I
It's
know
just
you
regular light.
regular. Okay.
And then we'll do the same amount, 4 of oyster sauce. I'm using the Thai one, which is a little bit sweeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people say the oyster sauce is optional. I like it. Definitely gives a, I don't know, more savory or umami, I guess. Okay, the dark soy sauce, only put 2. This stuff is really, the flavor is not that powerful, but it really makes things dark. And this is mostly for color. It has a little bit of the molasses kind of flavor because it's really thick. But just put 2 of these. 1, 2. I need another spoon for my sugar. And then 2 sugar. Just white sugar, not palm sugar. 1, 2. Now, you're gonna have to mix it pretty well to make it dissolve. Some people say you should put like the super fine sugar in it. I think probably because it dissolves better, but I'm just gonna keep mixing it for a little bit. Now, I'm gonna warn you, if I always taste it at this point, it doesn't taste that great by itself, just like this. I think because of the oyster sauce, maybe. Like this, it might taste a little weird, but don't worry, it'll taste great. Let me try it. Yeah, tastes fine.
You want to taste it?
Hold on 1 second. Here he is. Say hi.
Hi. Hi, Mateo.
Hello.
Here's a gummy bear for you.
There you go. There you go. Okay, cool. I think we have all the parts we need. Oh wait, how's everybody doing? Good. Okay. By the way, oh yeah. So if you did keep your stems kind of chunky, get a little glass of water. I usually put like a tablespoon or 2 of water when I cook it. If you cut yours really thin, like this, then I wouldn't bother. That'll cook pretty quick. All right, I'm gonna start moving all my stuff to the stove and the computer too, while you guys do that.
Should we like crack and like whisk our eggs before, or do we just put them right in?
No, we're gonna crack it right in. Just do a rough scramble right in the wok.
Oh, babe, what are you? Yeah.
Okay.
How do you know?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let me move that. Okay. Let's see. Is that gonna work like that?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, cool. By the way, if you don't have one of these and you have a round bottom, wok. This is a great thing to have. Also, if you don't have one of these, this is a great thing for woks. I love this thing. It's got a little angle on it. It's good at scooping the noodles out and everything. Anyways, I'll wait till you guys. All right, give me a thumbs up if you want me to start. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait for this whole day. Mama? Oh, I forgot my noodles. This is what the whole pack looks like, separated. And apologies in advance. Okay, I saw you. I kind of measure things by handfuls, so it's a little bit unexact, but here we go. Okay, let me walk you through it real quick. We're gonna turn it on medium, put 2 tablespoons of oil in it. You could do that now. I like avocado oil personally. And 2 tablespoons of oil in my wok.
I have olive, vegetable, or sesame. Which one should I use?
Vegetable, because it has a neutral flavor. It won't taste like olives. So put the oil in, put it on medium. Before it gets hot, we're gonna already add our garlic and start stirring it. If you wait till it's really hot and you throw your garlic in, a lot of times it burns really quickly. So I always put it in before it gets really hot. Then after it smells pretty good, maybe it's starting to brown a little bit, I'm gonna throw the stems in because that's the hardest, Oh, wait. I did this last weekend. I almost messed up. We're gonna cook the meat first. I forgot about that. It's not too late. We didn't.
What if I already put my garlic in?
That's okay. You could cook it with the meat. That's fine. Or you could take it out. What I did this weekend was I started and then I was like, oh, I forgot to cook the meat. And I took everything out, put it in a bowl, cooked the meat, then I put it back in. So for the meat, I'm going to turn it on high. So there's a few.
Should there be oil in the meat?
Yeah, there'll be some oil. Actually, I might pour some back, but it's okay to coat it a little bit so it doesn't stick, but I don't need so much oil. A lot of mistakes people do is either they don't turn especially with a wok, they don't turn it high enough, or they put too much in the wok at once. And so the wok temperature just gets really low. It doesn't cook at the intensity it's supposed to. And most people don't realize their home stove burner is not anywhere near what it should be to do a real wok cooking, like a restaurant style. I think these are about 15, 20,000 BTUs, whereas a real wok burner is at least 50,000. I've seen 200,000 BTU burners, which you could, we don't need 200,000. But what I'm saying is don't be afraid to turn it on high. So I'm going to turn mine on high and start cooking my meat. Here we go. Now I'm going to let it, since I'm doing the meat, I'm going to let it get pretty warm, pretty hot. Put this center. My meat isn't, I should have taken it out sooner from the fridge, so it's a little bit cold. If I wasn't in a rush, I might do this in 2 batches. It's about a pound or a pound and a half, maybe. I'm just gonna throw it in. Hey, Diana. Sorry, we didn't wait for you. But, you could do this in 2 small batches or do it in 1. Like I said, we're gonna pull it out and make sure we don't add any of the juice back in, so it doesn't matter too much. All right, I'm waiting for this to get pretty hot. I need a multi-camera setup. It's getting pretty hot. Actually, I'm gonna wait till it smokes a little even. It's almost there. Sorry. Okay, starting to see some smoke. I'm just gonna throw it in. I'm gonna keep stirring it too. I also like to spread it out evenly. And just to reiterate, it doesn't have to be 100% cooked. I don't want to see a lot of red, but we're going to recook it again. So if anything, I would err on the side of undercooking it, so it's not too over. It doesn't end up overcooked by the end. Yeah, I could tell the temperature already dropped. It's not as as before. Huh? On the air? Turn on the air? Okay. Might get hard to hear. Sorry. I turn on the air. I'm guessing this might take about 3 or 4 minutes. I meant to time myself this weekend, but I didn't. By the way, the order that I'm doing everything is kind of what works best for me. I watched a few different videos of other recipes, and there is no like consistent way. Everybody kind of did it in different orders and stuff. So this is just how I like to do it. Yeah. I think if I had a hot enough stove, I wouldn't get so much of this juice at the bottom, which I really don't want. Also, if I did it in smaller batches or I took it out of the fridge earlier so it wasn't so cold, all those things help. My dad always used to make stir fries, and they would come out like soup because he wouldn't turn it hot enough, and then he would cover it with a thing so the steam would like steam the vegetables, and oh, I hated his stir fry so much. Don't tell him I said that.
That left quite a memory, JP.
It scarred me. Sometimes, I don't know if this does anything, but sometimes I like take the juice and like kind of pour it around the edge where it's hotter. I think I'm gonna stop cooking this soon. It's mostly, there's not a lot of red here. Yeah. I'll call this done for now. I don't know if you can see. There's like a tiny bit of pink in a few pieces, but it's mostly brown.
What should we do with like the juice from the meat that's still in the pan? Should we try to get rid of that or leave it?
You should get rid of it.
Okay.
I put it in the bowl with the meat, but you could just dump it down the drain even. Actually, I'm probably gonna dump the rest of this down the drain real quick. And I'm gonna rinse my wok really quick, just with water. You sure you don't want to say hi? Okay, so my wok is wet. So I'm just gonna use a paper towel and kind of dry it. I'll probably turn on the heat and make sure the water evaporates before I put the oil, so it doesn't like splatter. All right, I'll wait till people catch up. Looks like Adriana's good. Solday's getting the meat out. Kim's good. Charlie's good. Fred, you good? Jessica?
I'm working on getting the meat out.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Can you hear me okay with the fan or? Okay. Okay, so I'll start. Like I said, let's start over. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of oil in my pan. I'm gonna put it on medium, not high. And I'm gonna put like half of my garlic. I'm gonna put my garlic in here. That's actually quite a lot. Maybe I put a little bit too much. Yeah, that's okay. So you also, even though it's on medium, if you keep moving it, it won't burn as easily. And it'll flavor that oil a little bit to be garlic, kind of like garlic oil. If you've ever made chili oil, it's not just oil and chilies. It's you actually have to flavor the oil and like you put ginger and garlic and green onions and lots of herbs in it. You cook it for like a half an hour, and then you drain all that stuff and throw it away, and then it looks just like oil left, but it's like the most flavorful, aromatic oil. So I don't know if you can see, still not brown yet, but I'm starting to smell the garlic really well. So actually it's starting to brown a tiny bit. I'm gonna throw my stems in. And since I left them kind of big, I'm gonna put like 2 tablespoons of water. Cook it for a few minutes. Oh, actually, at this point, you can turn it to high. From here on out, I'm just gonna cook everything on high. And it's watery, but I'll kind of wait till most of this water evaporates before I add in the leaves. That'll be the next thing, the leaves. Actually, I always notice that these get really bright green when you cook them. Instead of becoming a dull green, it actually gets brighter, which is interesting. All right, it's going fast. I'm gonna add the leaves in probably less than a minute because all the water has evaporated for the most part. I don't know if you can see that. It's just oil. So the leaves, I don't measure it. I just take like 2 handfuls. Well, that was kind of a big one, so 1.5 handfuls. Again, there's no right answer. You can customize this. So I just keep turning it so that it gets coated in oil. If for some reason your garlic is burning a lot, you could turn it down a little bit, but if you're moving this a lot, it shouldn't burn too much or at all. Mine's burning a little bit. Okay. So the next thing we're gonna add is the egg. And basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push all the veggies to one side, add a little oil, and just crack the egg right into the wok, and let it, and then I'll kind of scramble it just with my wok thing. Okay, I think I'm ready to do that now. These, I don't know if you could tell, they look wilted, shiny, green. They look fairly cooked. So I'm gonna put another tablespoon of oil. And I'm gonna crack the egg right into the wok. It's okay if it gets on your veggies and stuff. I mean, I'm trying to keep it a little bit separate, but it's not a big deal if it mixes in. And then I'm just gonna break the yolk. Give it a minute. Hopefully it doesn't stick. Sometimes it sticks on me, but basically what you want to do is just do a rough scramble. I'm just like, I keep flipping it over and then kind of just breaking it up. And once it's not too liquidy, I'm gonna just push it to the side and add the meat. I'm gonna make sure I don't get too much juice. So I'm adding about this much, maybe a little bit more. Actually, a little bit more. I like it. And then mix it all together.
Wait, so you don't add all your meat?
No, add like half. We're doing half. Sorry, we're doing a half of a batch. We're not doing all the noodles. We're not doing all the anything. We're doing like two servings, 2 people servings. Okay. Now that it's mixed, I'm gonna add the noodles already. It goes pretty quick. So I'm gonna take 2 really big handfuls of noodles. Lay it on top. Take another one. Lay it on top. And then the sauce. Here, actually, I'm gonna turn this down for a second. I do, I think 5 tablespoons. So, and I spread it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're almost done. So now I start mixing it all together. Trying to make sure the sauce covers all the noodles. There's no white noodles here. Keeping it on high again. If for some reason it looks a little too light for you, you could add more sauce. I played around this weekend with different proportions. I thought 5 tablespoons is pretty good for how I like it. Now, the one part I never do that great with is this is supposed to have like a caramelized almost crispy aspect to some of the noodles. So I've tried, pouring a little oil around the edge of the wok and letting it sit there. I've tried just letting it sit there. I don't know. I have a hard time getting that charred crispiness on it, but it's pretty good without it. I haven't touched this since I've been talking to you to see if I can get the crispiness. But for the most part, this is already done. I'm just trying to get crispiness. Okay, I got a little bit. Not that great. I got a little bit. I'm gonna let it sit without touching it just for like 30 more seconds to see if I could get it crispy again.
Just FYI, I should have separated out the egg noodles beforehand too.
Oh,
It definitely just clumped. It's okay though. I'll figure it out.
Okay, well, I think this is almost done. Let me grab a bowl. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat off now. I'm done. My patsu is done. I like scraping all the bits off the bottom too. So, yeah. Scoop it out. How's everybody's look? Does it look like that to you?
Still catching up, JP.
Yeah, totally understandable. Let me get another plate. All right, stay away from the stove. So normally I do a lot of batches, not just one. So this is pretty tough wok. I've never like heard it. So there's some crispy noodles that are stuck to it and stuff. So when I'm ready to do the next round, I basically just scrape the crap out of it. Sorry for the harsh noise. I dump it out, rinse it, and I do exactly what we just did, do all over again. So if you want, I can do another round, or if you guys are done, I can eat a little with you guys, or I could do another round if you want to see again. Diana, did you need to see again, or are you good?
I think so. It's going to be garlic, and then the broccoli leaves, and then you add the meat.
So
Right?
yeah, well, I pre-cooked the meat a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And then I do garlic, and I do the stems first. You don't have to, but then I do the leaves, then I do the meat. No, sorry. I do the leaves, then I do the egg, then I do the meat, then I do the noodles and sauce.
Okay. No, I think that makes sense to me. I think I'm good.
But like I said, I watched a lot of videos, and some people put the egg first. Some people put it after you add the noodles. So there's really no right or wrong way. Yeah, I'll take a break if nobody needs me to do it again. I'll just take a look.
Ready to eat.
Yeah, we can eat. Let's eat.
Oh, were we waiting? I just started.
Fine. So don't forget to put, okay, so if you haven't had white pepper before, it's definitely maybe a little bit of an acquired taste. and it's really strong. It could overpower very easily. So I suggest try it a little bit on one bite, see if you like it. If not, oh, let me get something to eat with you. But my one other rant / tip is don't eat this with chopsticks. That's not the Thai way to eat it. I know it's a noodle dish. I know it's Asian, but it's not. It's one of my pet peeves. It's when
I
people.
brought a taste tester.
Oh, nice. How'd it come out? Good?
Real good.
Nice. I'll take all the credit then. If it comes
Nice.
out good, it's my I get the credit. If it comes out bad, you take the fault. That's how it works. Here, come eat. Mateo, you want to come eat? You want to come here and eat? Eat this. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Whoops, wrong light. You made a sauce? Bring it here. I'll eat it. All right. Let's see. How did it come out? This is mine. Nice. Looks good. Everybody take a photo of yours. Let's see your sauce. No. All right. What is that style? Mukbang or something where you watch people eat and stuff their face? I feel like that's what we're kind of doing. We don't have to eat together either. I just wanted to. Wait, pepper. What, you want some? Ooh, I just got a nose full of white pepper. You can have some. I've just been putting stuff on it. Just sprinkle it on. I'll try your sauce. What? Okay. All right.
Let it go.
Well, I'll let you guys eat. Was there any other questions or anything?
Can you like write the proportions down in the Slack so that I can rewrite them to save for future? Because I won't remember. Like right now, I remember it was like 2, 2, 1, 1, but I won't in like 3 days. So.
Okay. Yeah. And we recorded this, so that'll.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But cool. How'd it come out, Jessica?
I haven't tried it yet. It looks
Okay.
okay. I had to use like thin noodles because that's all that they had.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing, but I think it'll still taste good. I
Yeah.
gotta try it out. Gotta grab a fork.
Nice.
I see your dish.
I want to hear how the egg noodles worked.
Yeah.
I'm behind because I had to like pull everything apart, but I'm mixing it now.
Oh yeah. How'd it
I'll
come out,
tell you, JP, in a couple hours if baby likes it or not.
Brad? Nice.
I missed it. Did you put the white pepper like in the wok while you were cooking it too, or
No, I just
It's
put it
on
on
at the
when I'm
topping,
about to
okay.
eat. Yeah. Well, take some photos of it when you're done. I would like to see people's, but I'll let you guys eat.
all right?
Oh,
Thanks,
well,
JP.
actually, do you want me to? No, I'll tell you a different time.
Well, no,
I'm
now we want to
curious.
know. Yeah.
That sauce that we made actually works really well is very close to the pad gaprao or the spicy basil kind of dish. So a lot of times since I have extra, I'll make that too. And basically the recipe for that. I'll just tell it. I know you're not gonna remember it, but I take a pound of ground beef. I take about the same amount of garlic as we use for this portion, and some chilies, and I make a paste out of it. Put oil in the wok. Put the chili and garlic paste in. Do similar what we did. Keep stirring it until you really
What
smell
kind of
it.
chilies?
I use Thai chilies, the spicy ones. And then I put the meat in, stir fry it until it's medium cooked. Then I put that sauce in. I don't remember exactly how much. I do it kind of until it looks pretty dark. And then I turn off the heat once it's cooked, and I throw the basil on top and mix it in. It's really simple.
Thai basil or regular basil?
So the dish traditionally uses holy basil, which is really hard to find. I'm growing it because I can't find it at stores. But if you can't find holy basil, then Thai basil. If you can't find Thai basil, don't bother making it.
Okay.
I think it'd be weird. But yeah, that's it. Same sauce, similar technique, but with ground meat instead of the noodles and stuff. And you throw the basil at the end, and pretty good. Cool. All right. Well, enjoy, guys.
Thanks,
Great.
everyone.
All right.
So
see you.
good.